Yo, 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 good morning, brothers and sisters. I love you, you are loved. Welcome to the G spot, more like the G area, but that's a different conversation entirely. It's early in the morning, but let's begin the same way we begin every single time. Lord, I come before you today to say thank you for another day of sunlight, being able to open my eyes, being able to hear the voice of my daughter saying, oh my God, where are my skis to go to school, get ready for my partner to do the thing and jumping in the car, traveling. Thank you for the ability to live a life today and have the sun touch my face in addition to the negative degree temperatures that are happening against my skin. All of that, I say thank you. Please be with my fellow brothers and sisters out in TV land so they can have a blessed day to attack the world, especially if they are suffering from their bodies and their minds. Please help them to reach out to other people, help them to find the answers and joy in the small things, similar to having new fresh powdered snow and making sure that they don't slip and fall, and be with those who did. All these things we say thank you for the blessing of life. All these things we ask in your son's name, Jesus Christ, amen. That's how I roll. That may not be how you roll, but just make sure you believe in something greater than yourself. All right, so why am I doing this one today? It's my whole thought process that I kind of previewed last week. It's called Save the Clock Tower, Save the Clock Tower. Now, I'm a straight dork. For anybody who knows me, I'm a huge fan of Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. Even the corny 3, when the cowboy scene, Cowboy Up, I love that, you know, Buford and all the good stuff. Anyway, but man, oh man, set the ground rules for the G-Spot. Make sure that we understand that this is a safe place for our discourse. It's not entirely meant to flame on, but if you flame on, don't be surprised by people's responses. But I believe in the golden rule. Matthew 7:12 and Luke 6:12 is basically, if you do unto others as you want done unto yourself. So let's treat this as a safe space of discourse, understanding, so we can create alliances to share with each other and get out of our individual silos. So with that being said, this whole Back to the Future thing that I'm going with is that what the hell is freaking going on in the goddamn world? Like, oh my God, it's like my daughter said to me, Imani, she says, Dad, why is it that if people don't want to be mad, why do they keep watching the news? And I had to tell her the 30,000 feet perspective on, you know, those who do not stay informed are the ones that are governed, right? So you got to stay informed. But she's actually right. What the hell is going on in the world? But what's also happening in our own individual worlds? What's happening in our households? What's happening in our jobs? Like, God damn, it just seems like the world is freaking out and spinning out of control. But is it? This is that Back to the Future moment that I was having last week that I wanted to talk about now, especially what's happening right now in the news currently. And is it out of control? Right now in the Northeast, we have a big superstorm bearing down on us. And I moved up to Saratoga Springs to go to Skidmore College. I got to represent, by the way. I went to go to Skidmore College in 1992. And I remember the winter of 93, that there was a massive snowstorm that basically buried the entire Northeast. And I'm a New York kid, and even though I've experienced it there, they have better services because it got the Iron Horse. It didn't stop anything. But being completely trapped up here during the snowstorm is like, oh my God, this really sucks. The whole world came to a standstill. Well, that kind of storm is about to happen now. So if you think about what was happening in 1992, you know, Bill Clinton just became president after coming out of recession, and the politicians were talking about, like, how do we lower taxes? There are too many people going on with immigration, and they're talking about everything. The Iron Curtain just fell, and the world was on fire. And I'm like, wait a minute, why does those same lines seem to repeat itself over and over and over again? And again, I remember what was happening, their version of what was happening in Minnesota happened in Crown Heights in 1991 with the whole race riots, what happened in Brooklyn. So it's like, it seems like we may think that what is happening to us individually or what's happening in the world is unique, but it's not. and it keeps repeating itself. So that sense of knowing that if you have a sense of perspective with history, is that what's happening today in this Back to the Future moment isn't quite so unique. So remember from Back to the Future 1, he goes back to, Spring Hill Valley, but he tinkers with a couple of details, and then it changes what happens later. And then in Back to the Future 2, my man Biff gets the thing, and he goes back to Spring Hill Valley. He tinkers with a couple of things and comes up with a whole dystopian view. I'm not going to link it to what's happening now, but you get where I'm going. So it's the fact that we all wish that we can go back to our past and tinker with it just a little bit to change our future's outcome, not only for us, but for those who we love, and to hold on a little longer. That leads me to ask the questions. As we ask in the comments, by the way, hashtag mission-based living, and add your thoughts into the comments to share in this safe space. What lessons are we not getting? Because I feel maybe the reason why we keep going back and living in the past is because we're not taking the lesson that we needed to learn back then to direct our sights towards the future and the future exclusively. I know I'm bringing that because I'm struggling with myself about the same thing. It's like, damn it, why does this keep happening? Why do I keep doing the same thing? And what lesson am I not getting? What am I missing, right? Why does this feel like a Back to the Future moment? What is locking my mind, my spirit down, that's making me feel like I'm on this hamster wheel that keeps repeating itself? And when we think about that, it's like, maybe the trick for me, and this is part of why I'm doing this G-Zone, G-Spot thing, has more to do with the fact that I'm not doing it alone. And as I was talking to a brother of mine fairly recently who's going through it, it's like, sometimes we need to make sure that we reach out to people that maybe they have perspective that you're just not seeing, and it feels the same. But when you come back to the room like Groundhog Day, like maybe there's something in the room just moved from right to left, or maybe a detail has changed that you didn't see before. And you keep thinking you're living the same lesson, but maybe some things are different. So part of why I'm putting this whole G-Thought thing together today for Saving the Clock Tower is that, yes, history does repeat itself. If that is literally the only lens you're seeing your life through, maybe if we figure out to take the glasses off or change our vision so we can get better clarity, or most importantly, reach out to other people that may have a perspective on life, be it a stranger or someone who's been like 30 years deep in gangsterdom with you, that can see something that you might have missed, then maybe we can figure it out. Now, I can't answer that for politicians, of course, because the way we get people to pay attention is that we throw bombs and everyone makes it, we get people inflamed, we get people incensed. But what if we had an electorate that was like, hey, it's all good. Just let's solve problems versus demonize each other. What if we had an electorate that actually said, you know what, I've seen this before, and it usually leads us to war or the killings of a lot of other people, but is there another way? Are we brave enough? Do we have the mental fortitude or the balls, if for those who are anatomically equipped, to find another way? Maybe this repeated world going up in flames vibe isn't exactly what's happening, because it's been happening ever since the dawn of humankind. So, perspective. So in the comments, what I would like you to know, share if you can, hashtag mission-based living, is essentially, how are you maneuvering this sense of Back to the Future, this Save the Clock Tower moment where we seem to be repeating on cycle? What lessons are you learning, or did you recently just learn, that helped to pull you out of that cycle to get you looking forward and to look forward to what we do not know and to operate it in that space, as opposed to going back, over and back and back and back. Because even if we had the ability with a DeLorean to go to 88 miles per hour with 1.21 gigawatts, even if we had that capability, do we really need to do that in order to get our lives to move forward without feeling like we're on repeat? So share your thoughts with your other fellow brothers and sisters as to how you're operating this way. Yes, some people might not watch the news, but maybe you read a recent book, or you listen to certain music, or you have a certain morning routine that gets you prepared to move forward and not to look backwards all the time. Or what recent lessons that you learned from your journey backwards that can help our fellow brothers and sisters in this safe space to move forward. All right. Again, I'm just a man. I am no one special. I am just as special as every other person walking the planet right now. And no one has a monopoly on the truth. So we can work together in order to have a more fulfilling lives, because we don't have to worry about the way this works. We're born and eventually we die. But in between that gray area, we can all make our lives a lot better when we work together as a community, a global community. And that always is led by love. I love you. I love you. You are loved. If you are struggling right now, please reach out to someone, or allow yourself to be reached out to, because that's just as bad. I've been guilty of that in my life, of siloing. Reach out to someone, even if it's just a matter of, can we go for a walk on slippery ice? I don't care. Reach out to someone. You are loved. All right. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for listening and indulging me. Stay blessed. In the comments, share your thoughts, but put a hashtag mission-based living. I love you. Share your love. Good morning. Good morning. Even if it's just a good morning message, let's grow this whole vibe, because I believe the positivity that we have in our community creates the love that pushes back against the hate that seems to be having a field day with the microphone these days. All right. Peace. Stay blessed. I'll catch you next week or in 2 weeks or whatever I was going to do it in. But again, I'm so blessed to have your time. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mission-based living by the golden rule. Do unto others as you want done unto yourselves. Peace.